Hello and welcome to Just a Moment. I am trying to figure out what my technical difficulties are here, so just one moment. I love the ambient music, but I don't know where it's coming. There we go. Wow, that was kind of fun. Let me try that again. Hello and welcome to Just a Moment. My name is Kristen Harding. Welcome to the show. Today, I am going to be going over more of Bringers of the Dawn, which is a beautiful Pleiadian message that was written back in the 80s by Barbara Marciniak. There's the book. And I'm just going to go over here to the comments and see if anyone has joined us yet. So I hope everyone is enjoying this wonderful holiday season. We've got a lot of snow on the ground, so it's making it really kind of almost serene and Christmas-like because everyone wants a white Christmas if you can have them, right? And I didn't know if we were going to get one or not, so that was kind of wonderful. So again today, I'm just going to be all by myself and reading to you, "Bringers of the Dawn" by Barbara Marciniak. And I sort of ended in the middle of a chapter because of the time constraints. So just to kind of recap a bit, we're getting a warning that television and radio can sort of jam your frequency. It can keep you at a level that you're not thinking clearly for yourself. So they emphasize this and they say electronics can also jam your frequency. Even when they are not specifically designed to jam your frequency, sometimes there is incompatibility between the electronic frequency of something and yourself. Plus, as we said, many of them are designed to create static so that you will always stay at a certain vibratory rate, turning you into safe, harmless, inactive, productive cattle. What about computers? The second most predominant piece of hardware in the United States is the computer. Well, you can tell this was back a while ago, isn't it? They're still calling them computers. How many of you go to work on computers and end up getting headaches, particularly when you work for large corporations and are hooked up to their mainframe? Large companies are into aspects of mind control. They use your minds to generate energy to achieve something for themselves. Personal computers are not as potent and powerful. Some new inventions are going to surface in the 90s, very underground inventions, because they will never be given patents to be promoted in the marketplace. There will be whole underground economies based upon barter in which certain inventions will be traded between people. There will be technologies that can counteract much of the frequency control. These technologies can change the quality of your air and water, and they can eliminate and seal off your home so that you are an integral of energy and nothing can bombard you. There are technologies that do phenomenal things. Do you understand how technology has been used against you? It has not been used for you. Television is not necessarily bad in itself, but it has been put to ill purpose. There's nothing wrong with technology. It is how technology is being used that is the bottom line. That is the difference. The education system is another area where you are controlled. Most of what you are taught is malarkey. You work hard, take loans out, and pay money to learn something that is antiquated before you even set foot in the door, particularly in the realms of scientific, mathematical, psychological, and medical exploration. What do you do when you live in a society that rewards you for degrees? You begin by saying, I believe that I formulate my world. I believe that I do not need these credentials to define my existence. I can be unique unto myself, sovereign unto myself. Come up with a method or a way to explore the world without degrees. Education is actually the pursuit of knowledge, and knowledge can come from a walk in the desert. It does not have to come from flipping pages in a book. It is not a harmful it is not harmful to explore a little bit of schooling, but don't buy into the idea that what you are being taught is correct. You are controlled and separated by issues that strike at the core of your emotions. The abortion pro-life issues is not a global issue, it's a national issue. Sometimes it does look as if innocent victims are trampled or stampeded by events that seemingly have nothing to do with them. Of course, that is what you have been taught, that you are powerless and can only be saved by the mood of the gods, which has never been the case. Those who find their lives taken by accident or violence select it. We're going to go into this again. Okay, here we go. The pro life abortion issues have been purposely orchestrated in the United States by different factions within the government to create a lack of harmony. Divide and conquer, and you own the people. Allow the people choice, freedom, and the ability to continuously improve their lives, and you cannot own them. Whenever people oppose people, those in control benefit, even down to the issue of abortion. How do they benefit? They keep women from uniting with each other and men from uniting with each other here in the United States. They keep people in fear. They convince you by continuously putting these issues before you that a woman has no control over her birthing process in her body. You don't need abortion. You never need to get pregnant in the first place if you don't desire it. How? By will. A woman can say to herself, I am not prepared at this time for a child. Or alternately, I am not in receptivity of a child. When you own yourself, you will not need permission from the government about what you can do with your own body. Violence on the streets of major cities is another subtle means of control. The big cities in the United States, Los Angeles, New York City, Washington, D.C., and so on, are energy buckets or holes where energy comes into North American continent, or has up until now. There has been an increase in violence in these cities because it is known that unrest can be kept brewing and reported. It can be a likely vehicle for manipulating the entire nation. Wow, we saw that live and in person here. These things are purposely set into motion on the physical level and assisted on the etheric level because the more fear that is generated, the more those in charge can feed on it. When a woman goes out with her family and is assaulted, and her young son, a seemingly innocent victim, fights the assailant and goes down by knife and dies totally unexpectedly on his vacation, the fear that is promoted throughout the multitudes of people feeds many. The fear that the war in the Middle East brought about was phenomenal. You have been removed of your life force. If there is something that you as members of the human race have in common, it is that you have been removed of your emotions. Others have played your emotions as though they were instruments, and they have never let you know the power you have with your emotions. Always, excuse me, always this story comes back to emotions. Emotions are like tickets that can get you get you places and plug you in. You are incredibly rich. If you would only realize how wealthy you are with your emotions. The lower vibratory beings, if we may be so bold as to call them that, exist off emotions in a very small range of frequency, emotions that are based on fear, chaos, and violence. The ability to use the human will over the human mind is your ultimate resource. This ability to master the body according to your will is exactly what the people in charge of the planet do not want you to figure out. As more of you become sovereign and in charge of your own frequency, those who do not want the new frequency here will bring an opposite frequency to create chaos, confusion, and polarity. Always, whenever a society is on the verge of a huge leap or change, there are diametrically opposed activities. Always look at an issue from the perspective of the bigger picture so that you have a neutrality with it, for the picture gets bigger and bigger all the time. The planet is headed for a major confrontation with certain entities. We are simply pointing this out. We are not here to promote fear. Fear is what the other team wants you to feel. We want you to understand excuse me, we want you to understand that you can change anything that you want to change. This is going to be a game of numbers in the future because you will work together to bring yourselves to a place of empowerment. We are asking humans to come into full function as members of the family of light by imaging and energizing the pillar of light and pulling it inside the body. Command it. Make it your intention every day to operate with a cord of light, for light frequency connects you and fills you with protection and information. Feel it move into the base of your spine, down your body, and into the earth, as well as coming out of your solar plexus area like a fountain and forming a golden shield of light around you. As you use the solar plexus area to determine what is going on, you will learn discernment through feeling. Earth's owners have not wanted humans to understand their feelings and emotions are like a crop, such as wheat, that can be harvested. If you are in charge of your own harvest, then others cannot take advantage of you and use you unless you decree it. When you operate with a certain frequency and sovereignty, those who wish to control you are not interested in you. They want a fearful, chaotic frequency, which is what nourishes them. Fear and chaos have predominated on this planet because these entities have stirred them up. They have divided and conquered everywhere to create that frequency. When you operate in peace and love and with information, you alter the structure of this planet drastically. You bring choice of frequency back to this planet. So, hi Sarah, I am reading Bringers of the Dawn by Barbara Messiniak. And hi Christopher, you always know when I am going to do this. It just amazes me. I guess it shouldn't though. So now we're going into chapter 9. It says profound new boundaries. Since you are a frequency controlled society, the ability of humanity to create technologies has been limited. In a less controlled society that has greater outreach or travel capabilities through space and greater interchange between systems, technological advances are quite astounding and uplifting. Many gifts and influences from outside this planet have been hushed up. Some information has, of course, been given to the planet in many different ways, and the resulting technologies have brought about great changes in lifestyle. One of the changes in lifestyle that occurred during this century was the introduction of movies, a whole new way of influencing thought was just brought to the planet by the film industry. Just as there are movie industries on this planet, there are those in space who have holographic industry. I knew it. I always knew that somehow. They make holographic inserts, dramas that look just like they are real, and insert them through portals into your reality. Since these space beings have been around for hundreds of thousands of years and humanity's frequencies have been controlled, it is quite easy to hoodwink human beings. Holographic inserts have been used on Earth to manipulate and control consciousness and to change the story of information to one of disinformation, one of limited amount of knowledge. As we see it, those who use the holographic inserts are not always after bringing light or information or upliftment to people. They have ulterior motives, although they may pass them off as light. Holographic experiences, especially viewings in the sky, are set up to influence a large group of people at once. Many, though not all, UFO sightings have been holographic inserts. There have been holographic inserts of one individual, designed in many fashions, projected simultaneously in many different cultures. That is why some of Earth's religious stories are parallel from one corner of the world to another when there was no physical contact. Whoa, that's deep. I'm going to read that again. There have been holographic inserts of one individual, designed in many fashions, projected simultaneously in many different cultures. That is why some of Earth's religious stories are parallel from one corner of the world to another when there was no physical contact. Wow. Holographic inserts look exactly like 3D reality. They are creations of events manufactured and inserted in your reality to look as if they are part of a sequential action. They are used to influence the minds of observers, and they are very difficult to recognize. You will have had plenty of practice in the next number of years when, in the Middle East and other areas around this planet, a lot of extraterrestrial activities come into full force and begin to be published. Some of the grand events will be very legitimate, and some of them will be inserts designed to move the consciousness of humanity towards the one world order to be controlled. Holographic inserts have energy fields and can be doused. Dowsing rods move differently in them because their energy fields are diverse and vibrate at an incredible rate. You can walk into them and participate in them. People may be part of them and swear that they are real, but they are orchestrated events designed to influence the minds of humans. Holographic inserts are not done for information, they are done for control. They are simply an aspect of technology that exists. Realities can be constructed and inserted just like movies. Movies, television, and so on are your version of creating reality. There are other, very evolved beings who cleverly create reality so real that you can't tell the difference. They are like beams. Just like spotlights are projected into the night, holographic inserts are projected onto this planet through portals. Tremendous energy is needed because the process involves merging of dimensions. The technology does not exist in the third dimension. It exists in other dimensions, and they need the dimensional fusions. What is the difference between dimensions? Why is one dimension important to another? Because each dimension has a different vibratory rate or way that the molecules move. These holographic inserts need places where the dimensions are already merged because they need to play through the other dimensions in order to enter here. Humanity has been blind and hoodwinked over and over again because of the unevolved helixes that information that could not plug into. The family of light has come to change all of that. You are here to carry a new frequency on the planet and hold it in your bodies so the rest of the planet can begin to vibrate at the same frequency. That frequency is going to create disruption of the structures based on two-stranded DNA on this planet. It cannot help it. It is time to evolve. Earth is ready to go through whatever is necessary for that evolution. Human beings must learn to read energies. They must learn to use more than the senses of their eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and so on to perceive reality. We have said that the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and sense of touch are deceivers of reality. They lock reality in. You think you are perceiving reality with these senses when, in actuality, they limit your perceptions of reality. You have been trained since you were a child to rely on your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and sense of touch to interpret experience. Now, you are going to need to rely on other forms of sensing to determine experience. One of the forms you have discounted is feeling. Feeling, your knowing, intuitive psychic self, has been jammed by frequency control on this planet so that none of you have been able to find it. If you found your own knowledge and your own way of intuiting, you could not be controlled. How do you know what is controlled and what is not controlled? Part of your experience here is to learn that, to get into a little hot water and to know when to jump out. In the deepest core of your being, there is an integrity you can discover and begin to operate with. This is an integrity that honors life and honors yourself first and foremost as the life that you are in charge of. You are in charge of you, and it has been gifted and granted to you that you honor your light, your body, and your experience to the best of your ability. Take a little look at the comments here. Oh, Christopher says, yep, downloaded quantum and variance physics VR events inserted as atomic universe events in a slightly digital overlay. Oh, he's talking about what the ET Santua says, our reality. And there's a few more. Just be 1 second. There we go. It uses iteration tech from nanites and algorithms controlling the singularity tunnels making up reality, dictated by some kind of central data source. Cool. And where was I? I was on the second, there we go, second paragraph. And as you begin to take good care of your integrity and cultivate it, and discover the miracle and potential of it, you will discover that your body, which seemingly has been somewhat of a burden that you have been carting around, is really invaluable. It brings you untold wealth. With the physical body, you are millionaires. You must learn to use your feeling center and to activate and act on the information inside of you. You must learn to trust it. You, as members of the family of light, are intending to merge dimensions. Your task is to pull other dimensions into this reality, to have your nervous system handle the different molecular fluctuations, and to be able to make it okay. You are learning to perceive through your feeling centers and to teach others how to do all that you can do. You are the way showers. You will recognize holographic inserts by feeling. They just won't feel right. Something will feel fishy or strange when holographic inserts are put into your reality. Something is not quite right. As members of the family of light, your coatings and filaments will not feel good if you are exposed to holographic inserts because they are used to control you rather than bring you to upliftment. They are used to ride your emotions to a certain point so that others can feed off them and to bring you to a certain level of operation. These technologies will be used more in the next decade. That is why we say that humanity is in for a drastic awakening as far as what is really real. The boundaries of reality are quite profound. We talked about the portal in the Middle East being a dimensional doorway or entryway onto the planet for certain energies to find civilization. Remember, when you leave a planetary sphere and go into space, once you traverse certain belts of consciousness, you must find the proper portal to come back onto the planet in the precise time period or corridor of time that you are looking for. This is how systems are kept locked and intact, and how they are prevented from being raided and taken over. There are portals on the South American continent, the North American continent, Asia, China, and all over the globe. The huge portal that we are presently discussing is the portal in the Middle East. It's gigantic. Many holographic inserts or dramas have been inserted through that portal to upset the minds and beliefs of the population. Since this portal is in the midst of crisis, it is a prime candidate for holographic inserts and also prime for a belief system to alter this chaotic world and get everyone to move in a different direction. Be aware of your feeling centers when these kinds of events begin to occur on this planet. The Middle East is a portal where many dimensions meet and where entities from other dimensions can come onto this planet. It is a hotspot. In recent times, in the last 40 or 50,000 years, many civilizations have surfaced and many religious dramas have started in the Middle East. Because of the vortex, holographic inserts are easier to produce in that area, just like movies are easier to produce in California. A potential holographic insert in this portal is the arrival of extraterrestrials from space, or Christ returning, or some God returning, or some Savior, or some reason for everyone to begin to follow one way of thinking. Project Bluebeam. At this time, as we see it, it is not of light. An example of a holographic insert that was put on the planet in the past to change the course of history. Oh, I don't even know if I want to say this out loud, is the crucifixion of Christ. Now remember, these are not my words, these are her words, not mine. Okay? An example of the holographic insert that was put on the planet in the past to change the course of history is the crucifixion of Christ. The drama that was played out and passed on historically to you is not the reality that the Christed one came into play. A version of this entity's life was molded and designed in a holographic entertainment movie, which was then inserted and played out as if it were real. Christ came in as a committee of beings over a period of time. The story that you have been told is a dramatized, marketed version, a very controlled version of who this entity was and is. Part of the Christ drama you have been taught was a holographic insert, and part of what you will discover in the future about the Christed One has the potential of being another holographic insert, so be aware. Most people would say that we are sacrilegious and of the devil to even say this. How can we question what the Bible says? I do that all the time because it's incomplete and rewritten. How can we question all these things? Because they were all said and done by patriarchal organizations that promoted themselves. That was all they were. They were utilized to bring back control of the energy on the planet. In reality, the Christed One was sent as a system buster, a member of the family of light, to bring light through the portal in the Middle East. This created a way for many to enter and seed a reality that would prepare the consciousness of humanity for the cycle that will terminate in approximately the next 20 years, depending upon how events proceed. The Christed One came not as one entity, but as a number of entities, influencing people in humanity's dark hour, an hour where human beings were ready to understand their mysteries. One of these that was not promoted to you in a very truthful way was that the Christed One was very well accepted. The kind of energy that the Christed beings brought to the planet was received very well. There are a number of dramas going on with the Christ entity. There is the original blueprint, the plan of the Christed committee to come in, to spread light or information, and to show humans what the human body is capable of doing. Then there are the beings who said, "What are we going to do about this? This one is coming in our portal and we want control over this portal. How are we going to be able to use this energy? It is a free will universe and we can do what we want." So they created a holographic insert of the drama of Christ being crucified to create fear and emotion out of someone else's intentions and to move consciousness in a way that was not originally intended at all. This means that in a free will universe, it is possible, particularly in portal areas, for one group of gods to read another story and insert their own version of it. At the time, perhaps, this does not affect many, although over time the impact of the holographic insert is eventually known. We know this is frustrating for many of you. Yet what we are doing by sharing this information with you is getting you to move, feel, remember, and not think so much. This is not a process of logical thinking, it is a process of feeling. What is going on with your body? Ask yourself, what is my identity? How can this be? Who am I within it? Then you will begin to release more of who you are to yourself, and you will be able to figure out many things. Do you understand why you have come here to bust the system? Do you understand how complex frequency control is? Do you understand how fine and thin reality is? Do you understand how available reality control is to human species? If humans would harmonize with one another and act as though they were all provided for and believe and create through their minds, wow. We said some time ago that light is underestimated on this planet, and truly it is. If it became known how many individuals are gaining sovereignty over their thoughts and lives, and how many of them are broadcasting this sovereignty and living it to teach others, those in charge would do something about it rather quickly. Light is underestimated, and it is a good thing because light is going to liberate you all. You have an exciting assignment, an enviable job, and you have all the help you are going to need to complete your task. There has been tremendous influx of entities and motherships on this planet that are now acting as intermediaries or perhaps literal transducers of energy. The beams of light that came to the planet come from old and ancient star systems that have been working with Earth for eons and eons. Many of them are simply numbered by your astronomers, while others have names you are familiar with: Sirius, Arcturus, Orion, the Pleiades, and so on. Beams of light are being caught by quite a number of motherships surrounding Earth, filtered through an entirely different system, and then blasted onto the planet. Many of you have implants inside of you to respond to this communication and to bypass psychotronic warfare and interference that would keep your frequencies jammed and prevents you from being able to receive this information. These implants are not negative. You are not abducted and probed to receive them against your will. They are etheric implants that you called to yourself as tools to receive off-planet energies. These implants are being activated now. Many of you are finding that you are feeling altered. At different times of the day, particularly when you are going to sleep, you are hearing a variety of tones or feeling a kind of electric vibration in your body. When this information is beamed at you, your body must be able to receive it. In order for your body to receive it, it must be in a certain state. The information is like a current, and if your body cannot handle the current, it moves into a state of discomfort. The people of Earth were programmed for this time, and there is no one incarnated upon the planet who can say that they made a mistake and did not know that they were what was going to occur here. No one was born upon this planet without a mechanism inside of them that can be activated to tune into or turn on to the ability to house those frequencies. We have encouraged many of you to move out of logical mind because the logical mind will come into conflict with this information and electronic energy. In the next number of years, your understanding and vibration with the frequencies coming to you will be like turning on your own radio. You will have a direct telepathic link with your motherships broadcasting to you. There will come a time when you will never even think of going to a channeling session because you will have your own link up with information. The wealth of information that will come to you will be of great reassurance. It will be broadcast to fill you in on what is happening. As you become more trusting, you will be able to manifest before you a light entity who will come physically and begin to teach you. Channeling, or the process of bringing information through another being, will become completely archaic as you manifest your own literal being to teach you. In the meantime, we are here to teach you, to remind you of who you are, and to give you an idea of what you can draw to yourself. What we want more than anything is to assist you as members of the family of light to succeed in liberating the humans. Focus on the dance of yourself. To what tune will you dance? And to what magic will you perform? And to what heights will you be willing to push consciousness to give it new definitions of possibilities? And it's time for a break. Hello, Larry. I'm going to take a little break, and I will be back in just a moment.
Welcome to Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where magic meets the mundane and the extraordinary becomes everyday. Are you ready to gift yourself with the whispers of ancient power stones? To the feel and hear the echoes of our ancient past? Dive into a world where each pendant tells a story, where rare stones hold secrets known only to the universe itself. At Crystal Cove, Our collection isn't just jewelry. It's a gateway to a realm of mysticism and wonder. Let the shimmering opal guide you through twilight dreams, or embrace the fiery energy of the sun with our exquisite amber pendants. Each piece, handcrafted by the hands of a true mystic who understand the language of the earth and the fire of one's heart. At Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, we believe that every soul deserves to sparkle. Whether you seek solace in the calming embrace of amethyst or wish to dance with the vibrant hues of turquoise, our collection holds the key to unlocking your inner magic if you allow it to be so. Visit us today and discover the pendant that speaks to your soul. Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where the beauty of our amazing earthy realm meets the magic of the cosmos.
Hey there, Hunter. Go check out our friends at Colorado Custom Game Calls. They are all about creating a high-quality, custom, unique game calls at an affordable price. They are here for hunters that can't and won't pay upwards of $180 to $200 per game call. They pride themselves on giving their customers the opportunity to not only purchase an affordable and high-quality call, but to customize their game call to their liking. So listen up and go check them out. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. They got calls for all type of game, and all the game calls can be custom made to your own likeness. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. Tell them Matthew sent you from the Matrix Minds.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. The CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again.
And welcome back to Just a Moment. My name is Kristen Harding. And again, I am reading a wonderful book called Bringers of the Dawn by Barbara Marciniak. And it was written many years ago, but the message in it is so relevant to now, literally right now, with all of the unidentified aerial phenomenon going on right now. But now that we're going to go into a new paradigm of light, because we are already on chapter 10. Who are the bringers of the dawn, and what is their role? The bringers of the dawn are those who carry the rays of the sun and bring light and knowledge. They have an ancient organization, an ancient society, an ancient spiritual bonding that keeps them doing certain work within a certain star system. You are members of Bringers of the Dawn. You are members of the Bringers of the Dawn. Otherwise, you would not be drawn to this message. The members of this elite organization came to Earth at different times to do their work. This occurs when a cycle has been set and events are perfect for them to allow the energy from the high cosmos and the energy from the earth to merge within their own beings. The energies from the cosmos are always coming to earth, and the energies from earth are always lifting up towards the cosmos. Humanity creates the sacred bridge between earth and sky, which some have called the Rainbow Bridge. The bringers of the dawn allow these energies to merge so that the dawn, or the light, is awakened within them. That they then bring that dawn to civilizations. This is who you are. This is what you are doing. So are multitudes of others. You are the bringers of the dawn. As bringers of the dawn, there is a certain stance that will facilitate the commitment that you have made. This stance is one of allowing and moving out of self-indulgence and the discounting of your experiences. For the bringers of the dawn, each link makes up the whole, no matter how it's constructed, no matter what strength or weakness it has, and no matter how big or small its role. Strength or weakness or influence are not necessarily to be compared. They are simply the stance that the consciousness, in its own dance of reality, chooses to focus upon. We teach you about yourself and assist you in unlocking what is inside of you, not what is outside of you. As bringers of the dawn, you are in your darkest hour before the dawn, when you may wonder if there is going to be a ray of light. Then, almost instantly, the light will begin to show from nowhere. Where will it come from? How will it change your thinking? How is existence as dark as it can be one moment, and then the next instant there's light? As bringers of the dawn, you will light that dawn. You were trained for this. It is your forte. You, the bringers of the dawn, also known as the family of light, agree to go through this process of mutation to evolve yourselves into higher beings by intention and conscious agreement. You bring light back to the planet, bring about the new evolution of humanity, and make the cosmic evolutionary leap in awareness and intelligence possible by anchoring the frequency first inside your own body and living it. The family of light comes from a central place of operation, a source within this universe that acts as a broadcast station. There are central suns within your galactic system and a central sun within this universe. The Mayans named this central sun Alcyone. Others know it by other names. The sun has light, and light has information. To make this very simplistic, members of the family of light come from a place that is a central storehouse of information for the universe. You cycle or spiral out from this central sun and carry the information from it through the various systems in this universe. You plot, plan, and travel. You are very unique in this regard, and you know it. You know when you look at the population that you are very different. You love rabble-rousing and you love to bust systems open. When someone says no trespassing, it is for everyone else and not for you. You go wherever anything is shut down so that you can open it up. You operate by separating yourselves into many multidimensional identities and then going into systems to change them. You sometimes incarnate in these systems for hundreds and thousands of years in preparation for the time when you may be called on to bust the systems. You have a resume to back you. For example, you incarnate on Earth a number of times so that if the call goes out that Earth is going to be busted open and the paradigm is going to be shifted, you can say, I have been there 247 times in this many varieties, and once I was able to ascend my body. I did this and this and this. If I go in for this game plan to bust the system, I am certain that I can refresh my memories, pull them up, defy the laws, and complete the assignment. Sometimes it doesn't happen and the plan has to be changed for some reason. That is a very frustrating experience for you. However, when all goes according to plan, and you succeed in busting the system and creating a new paradigm of light, it is like a cosmic joy for you. Members of the Bringers of Dawn or the Family of Light work in teams. You don't go into systems alone. You need each other to do this work because you cannot hold the frequency by yourself. By going in as teams, you increase the odds of successful carrying out of the plan. You are like rays and light spirals of the central sun that are very intelligent, and you are guided by a great intelligence inside the central sun. Light is a kingdom of consciousness, and it has a purpose in existence. The story we tell you today is a story that you can comprehend. Every time we speak to humans and you comprehend more, we give you more. We do not want you to think that light is more noble than anything else. Something in the essence of your soul connects you to this light source and drives you to this profession, but it does not make this profession better than any other profession. There are the others who have different sources and spiral out with different intentions, and they make the ball game possible. You are learning about this. We remind you that Prime Creator creates it all and endows all these things with itself. Just as you are seeking self-awareness, Prime Creator is mastering this as well. It seeks to be aware of itself within all things and to endow all the things that it is within with awareness. That was fun to read. Let's try that again. It seeks to be aware of itself within all things and to endow the things that it is within with awareness, that the Prime Creator is in them and aware of its existence. The awareness is like a mirror going back and forth between Prime Creator and all creations, just down to the smallest little bug or ant that crawls on the ground. Just as Prime Creator is in light, it is also in so-called evil, knowing that evil also has a divine purpose. Many kingdoms of consciousness exist. Kingdoms of consciousness are fancy words for a concept that we would like you to grasp. Within the kingdoms of consciousness, there is a likeness of energy, and there are many kinds of kingdoms of consciousness. The family of light comes from a particular kingdom of consciousness. When your consciousness learns the laws of creation, manipulation, and management of reality, it is quite easy for you to manifest into any form you choose. For those of you who have activated your shamanistic and native cultural memories, you well know that part of the teaching of native cultures was how to go into various realities and change form. The shamans in the certain cultures were revered for this. They carried genetic coding, and there were very few on the planet in relation to the entire population. They held the magic and the mystery and kept the process alive. They were able to move in the form of animals and various other shapes and guises. This was quite a profound science indeed. Because this science exists on the planet, of course, it also exists off planet. Earth is a happening place right now, a hot spot. It is coded to start its own revolution, not necessarily just a revolution in the United States to change lifestyle, but a dimensional shift that is going to alter all of the space around Earth. Many extraterrestrials who are curious about life forms know how to rearrange their molecular structures and come onto the planet in disguise as humans. In times of tumultuous change, when dimensions have the potential to merge and collide, as you are setting up here for Earth, there are a great gathering of energies that come to participate in the big show. The big show happens on many levels, not just in 3D. A chain reaction moves through all of the dimensions of existence and all of consciousness. Some beings beam themselves to Earth in disguise as humans, or they incarnate, picking up the opportunity to get a ticket into this reality to be here for the event. Perhaps some of those you sense are not native to the planet and not here as system busters, but are here to observe, to participate, and to understand that they can take the information back to their own systems, which are always evolving. There are intelligent creatures who are able to manifest as humans and play the role out to perfection. Sometimes their memories are intact, and sometimes they have the veil down. It is not always easy for these beings to come here with full conscious memory of who they are elsewhere because of their frequency control. You will grow in your awareness over the next few years, and that you are members of the family of light in disguise as humans. Part of the planned evolution of the human species and the planned rearrangement of the human DNA is for each person to begin to open a memory bank and remember who they are. In different dimensions of reality, there are, of course, different experiences and different laws. In 3D, where you have been locked as a human species for so long, there is a limitation on what you can experience. The third dimension is designed to focus on one existing reality at a time. It is designed this way according to the frequency and nerve pulsation and the rate that the frequencies adjust the nerve pulsations to within the body. You are magnetically and biogenetically tuned and designed. The members of the family of light are much more than human. Characteristically, you are supreme achievers in the multidimensional realms. One applies for a position in the multidimensional realm as a member of the family of light. As members of the family of light, you have incarnated onto this planet to prepare yourselves to do your work. What is your work? Your work is quite simple. You carry a frequency into systems that have limited light frequency because light is information. This is not cold computer data information. It is information that is transmitted biologically through an electromagnetic send-out of consciousness. This is what you are experts in. If you were to have a business card printed up for yourself when you are in full memory of your identity, it would say something like, Renegade member of the family of light, Systems Busters, available for altering systems of consciousness within the free will universe. On call. You go for it. This is what you do. This is an aspect of your identity that you all have in common, and you are here in the millions at this time. You are here primarily to remember who you are, to operate multidimensionally within the system, and to teach humans, the natives in this place that have been under frequency control for a long time, a new system. You are disguised as humans, and soon you will begin to realize this. You will extricate yourself from the human drama and the human dilemma of frequency control. Before frequency control was instituted 300,000 years ago by the raiding group of creator gods, the native species was somewhat clever. They had a very evolved system of receiving information and could directly receive on the planet from space contacts. They also had many different ways of distributing knowledge as it was received. Distributing knowledge on the planet at this time is based on technology, something outside of yourself. It is another clever bill of goods you were sold as a means of control. A long time ago, communication on this planet occurred through contact with one another by the use of internal mechanisms, not by technology outside of yourself. Most humans cannot grasp that their history goes back more than a few thousand years. You will learn, remember, and teach the planet that it has a history of millions of years. First, you will uncover and integrate the history of the planet for the past 300,000 years so that you can expand the picture of human dilemma. Remember, the history is all inside you, not outside of you. In your current technology, light-encoded filaments are being created outside of your body in symbolic form as a representation of the transmission of intelligence through fiber optics. The human species creates outside of itself what it must learn is inside of itself. It is part of the mastery of light. When the great library of yourself was put into chaos, there was a little bit of data that kept the species controllable, operable, manageable, and yet functioning on its own, performing tasks and stimulating it as a life form and form of consciousness to produce a certain frequency, fear. This fear has been promoted for the past 300,000 years on this planet as a controlled substance in every version that you can think of. When a human being resonates electromagnetically and broadcasts the frequency of fear, a transmission of consciousness is sent out. Where does that go? Where do your thoughts go? Where do your emotions go? We have already said that collectively consciousness forms food. As system busters, you have come in to eradicate the food source or to change the food source from one of fear and chaos. Those who are nourished by that food source will either have to change their diet or leave this planet. You are here to bring information, light, the comprehension that there is potential for change, and a food source that works in cooperation and resonates with light. This is what you are about, and this is what your responsibility is to achieve. We understand that some of you are very puzzled about how to do this and how to bring this state of impeccability in your own lives. One of the primary things we ask each of you to do from this moment forward is to not base any of your future experiences on your past. All of you love to drag the past in as an excuse for what might happen in the future. You are famous for it, but you must act as if you are newly beamed down, innocent as a babe, and ready to step forward into the circumstance of your daily life. As you awaken each morning and step forward each day, state with clarity what you intend to experience that day. If you are not doing this or cultivating the habit of doing it, then you had best get going. It is the way that reality is designed. As we've said before, the big secret that has been kept from the human species is that thought creates experience, and thought creates reality. All reality is created by thought. It is all subjective experience, but electromagnetically you are being controlled in such a way as to create experiences within a certain spectrum of reality. You, who are the members of the family of light, are well-traveled and well-attuned to the possibility of bringing new frequencies in. You have come here to hold the new frequency being beamed to you from space that are setting into motion a new pattern inside of your bodies. As you begin to know that this is your purpose, you will begin to design your purpose consciously, to get clear about what you want and to experience it no matter what area it is in. This is an absolute. Each of you likes drama in your own way. You get bored if you don't have stuff happening. This is why you formulated this plan, this raid. In actuality, this reality or world was set up by entities of the family of light a long time ago before the reality was raided. As members of the family of light, you were the original planners. There were many rich funds of consciousness here that were free to become attached to and utilize. When the entities of the other families that you have come to call dark took over this planet, they did a very good job of keeping the light out. Light is only as big as your paradigm can get at this time, but there are other teams and kingdoms of consciousness out there as well. For now, we will just work with the light and the dark. The dark team did a very good job of keeping the light out for a long time. However, that time is up. You are renegades of light, and you decided to come back and stage another raid of consciousness. Millions of you at this time, because you knew, working with Prime Creator's energy, that there was a high probability that everyone would achieve a great richness of consciousness. As you begin to pull this light into your bodies and onto the planet, many who like drama may be affected. They may be pierced by light and have a reaction, because the more light you bring, the faster it will spread. Light is definitely growing on the planet as you remember that you are the native species working closely with the original planners, here to take back your world from the raiders. Well, hello, Jenna. Hi, Peggy. See, did I miss anybody? Hi, Seth. I like this book too. It's actually one of my new favorites. So we are at the end of the show. We're a little bit over, in fact, and next time we meet again, we'll be on chapter 11. But I very much hope to have more guests in the near future, and I'm working on that. So that is all for now, dear lights. Thank you so much for joining me. Never forget that you are amazing. You are loved. Be well, be safe out there, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye.